Okay, let us begin. Hello, everyone. We are CareerWise Greater Buffalo, a Say Yes initiative, and we thank you for joining us today for our Youth Apprenticeship Virtual Employer Tour featuring Rich Products, Wegmans, and M&T Bank. This is the second of 3 virtual events that we are hosting to allow students interested in the Youth Apprenticeship Initiative the opportunity to get familiar with the different career opportunities available to them and to allow the employers the opportunity to join in on the conversations to be thoughtful partners as we seek to have a collective impact. Today, you will learn more about business operations and you will get a chance to meet with employees from Rich Products, Wegmans, and M&T Bank to hear more about the jobs they have to offer. There will also be time to ask questions at the conclusion of this event. Hi. My name is Aaron Jackson, career coach at both Burgard and McKinley.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer Ray. I am the career coach at South Park and Hutch Tech.
Hi, my name is Shire Armprester, and I'm the career coach at MST High School and Riverside High School.
At the end of this discussion, we will have a $50 raffle. You must be present at the end of this discussion in order to win the raffle. Today's discussion about business operations features Rich Products, Wegmans, and M&T Bank. Rich Products. Rich Products is a company that was founded in 1945 by Robert E. Rich and is headquartered in Buffalo, New York. It employs 11,000 people worldwide and sells more than 2,000 products in 112 countries. Rich Products offers a diverse body of products, including but not just limited to toppings, icings, sweet goods, finished desserts, appetizers, bread, rolls, and pizza products. Rich Products aims to impress customers, improve continuously, empower people, and work smarter. So at this time, I would like to turn it over to Rich Products.
Thank you, Aaron, and thank you all who put this event together. I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to speak to everyone interested in participating in the program. We are very excited to be a part of it. I am going to share my screen. So if I could just get a thumbs up from the crowd when this comes through to let me know we are good. All right, I see some thumbs up. Wonderful. So Rich Products, as Aaron mentioned, we have been around for 77 years now. We are a family-founded organization, and the Rich family is very committed to maintaining that status. It's also an important part of our culture, being family-owned. A lot of our mission and our ideals come from family first. And so we believe that in everything we do, we want to give someone an experience, whether it's a vendor, an employee, an intern, everyone feels like they're a part of Rich family. So I'm just going to advance to my next slide here. There we go. Hopefully that shifted with me. So going back to, who we are, it really at the core of our business, we are food. Another fun fact about Rich Products is that we are also in the sports business as well. We actually own the Buffalo Bisons. So if you've ever been to a Bisons baseball game, Rich Products actually owns that stadium and the Bisons, as well as a lot of really great food that I'm going to talk to you about momentarily. Our leadership, we strive to have leadership that believes in growth, the tenure within a lot of our associates. One example that I like to share is we have a senior vice president who's been with us for over 30 years. And she started her role with Rich Products in accounts payable. So love to tell those types of stories. Advancing forward. So as Aaron mentioned, we have now over 12,000 employees across the globe. We do business in over 100 countries, and we have over 4,000 product offerings. And so that's everything from the delicious desserts that you've seen on the first slide, those cupcakes, all the way into pizzas and proteins and an array of products. advancing forward, just to continue to make you hungry at the end of the day, I want to show you all the wonderful pictures of all of our offerings. So we also could take in consideration any dietary needs or preferences of our consumers. So if you have any type of nut allergy, looking at having nut-free, dairy, gluten-free, veggie-based, we continuously expand our portfolio. I also included a slide of where you may have seen us. So if you're like me, you've probably had one of everything that you see on the screen here. But we do business with a lot of regional chains. Taco Bell, we actually do the chalupa shell for them, those wonderful little donut bites, the Cinnadelights. For Panera, we do the double chocolate chip cookie, I believe it's called. Burger King, we do their mozzarella sticks. And then locally for Tim Hortons, we all know them. We do the whipped topping for their milkshakes or coffees or hot chocolate, any of those delicious items that you may have tried. So about the opportunities that we have, right now, we are looking to bring on apprentice in both our accounting department, customer service, inventory, and then also into human resources. So there's a lot of great information, opportunity to grow. We'll put additional details onto the portal so you can look at those further. And then why join Riches? So I talked to you about all these delicious treats. Well, you might actually be able to sample some of these and provide your insight on, are we putting too much chocolate chips into our cookies or not enough? And so we actually have taste testings right at our site. And sometimes you do get a gift card for participating. We also have a lot of employee resource groups that offers networking and different events that you could, learn more about our organization, and, all levels of the organization get to meet them. We also have global offices. You'll get to interact with people from all over the world. And of course, we are committed to all of our goals and having fun. So with that, I will turn it back over to Erin. Stop sharing.
I would like to take this time to thank Rich Products and its staff for making themselves available to meet with us to discuss business operations. We both appreciate and thank you and look forward to working with you. Next, we have Wegmans, which is a regional supermarket chain founded by John and Walter Wegman in 1916 and headquartered in Gates, New York. Wegmans has over 106 locations and employs more than 52,000 people. Wegmans has a strong employee benefit program, including an employee scholarship program that provides over $5 million in tuition assistance to employees each year. Wegmans has awarded $130 million in scholarships to more than 42,500 employees since this program began in 1984. Voted top grocery store in 2017 by Consumer Reports, Wegmans lives by its mission statement: every day you get our best. So at this time, I would like to turn it over to Wegmans.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Erin. And Amanda, just like last time, you did make me hungry again. So thank you for that. Give me one moment and I'm just going to go ahead and try to share my screen appropriately. All right, and if I can just get a thumbs up that you can see my screen. Perfect, great, thank you. So my name is Breland Bell, and I have actually been with Wegmans since I was 16. I started as a cashier. I worked my way through the internship program that we have here at Wegmans. So similar to this youth apprenticeship program, but a little bit different. So I worked my way through that. And after I graduated college, I actually left Wegmans for a little bit. Decided that I wanted to do something different. I went to school for journalism, so I was a copywriter for a bit, and I missed Wegmans so much. So I reapplied back to Wegmans as a night manager about 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago, and I've been back since. So you might be familiar with Wegmans. We are a grocery store, but some of the things that we want to talk to you about today, you'll see that we're so much more than that. If you are interested in working face-to-face with customers, if you really enjoy teamwork, you like a fast-paced environment, we definitely have an opportunity here for you. And you'll see to the left of the screen, our mission, again with food, is to help people live healthier, better lives through food. So our who we are values is really where we like to start. So we care about the well-being and success of every person. High standards are a way of life. We make a difference in every community that we serve. We respect and we listen to our people. And lastly, we empower our people to make decisions that improve their work and benefit our customers. We like to share these who we are values, most specifically in recruitment events, because all of our questions in the interview process are based around these 5 who we are values. When you come to Wegmans, you don't have to have certain experience in a particular department or a trade. As long as you have these who we are values, we have the right resources to be able to teach you everything else that you need to know about that specific area. So as Erin mentioned, we were rated #1 grocery store in 2017, but something that we're really proud about as well is that in 2021, we were rated #1 company that cares, which is absolutely huge for us. And it was a really big celebration because we lived through a pandemic. We're still living through a pandemic, and to be rated the #1 company to care about the employees was absolutely huge. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see a couple of other awards that we've been given over the years. One of the things that we really like to share is that these awards the higher ups in the company, they don't submit an application to be recognized for these awards. Our employees are randomly surveyed, and based on their answers, this is how we get on these lists. So definitely wanted to share that with you today as well. Looking at the scholarship, so I know going into this conversation today, there's a big question. Well, if I can just apply to Wegmans, why would I apply for this AF apprenticeship program? So our regular employees would have to originally work 520 hours per calendar year. So that would be about 10 hours per week in order to be eligible for the Wegmans scholarship. But if you are offered an apprenticeship with Wegmans, you will be automatically guaranteed that scholarship. So what does that look like for you? Well, it's $6,000 for a part-time employee and up to $8,800 for a full-time employee. This is awarded to you every semester, so you can get it for 4 years. And then every semester, that 6,000 or that 8,800 would be broken down to you in your paycheck. So it does not go directly to your school. It will go directly to you. So if you want to use that money for school, if you want to use that money for books, if you want to use that money for a car or go to the mall, it's your money. You've earned this scholarship, so that would go directly to you. And again, to highlight, this would be something that you would be automatically eligible to receive upon accepting a job at Wegmans with the Youth Apprenticeship Program. So next, we just want to talk about learning and growing at Wegmans. There's this stigma that Wegmans is just a grocery store. So the only opportunity I'm going to have is either be a cashier or I get to stock groceries. There's so much more than just that. So I'd like to introduce you to Edgar. He started at Wegmans when he was 16. He is now 21, and he is a seafood team leader. He has worked in over 7 different departments. I'm sorry, I misspoke. He just got a promotion. He is now working as a bakery team leader instead of seafood. So an 8th department that he now has exposure to because there's so many different areas for you to be able to explore. We actually have over 40 departments in our stores, which again is something that people might not see at first glance. So everybody's career path at Wegmans looks a little bit differently. So instead of going, you don't have to follow that arrow. Sometimes you might bounce around to a different section on this page. And I won't take you through this entire this page right now. We'll make sure that you get this presentation to take home and look at a little bit deeper. But starting out in part-time, you would definitely get that department operation. So if you're hired into, let's say, the seafood department, you would work very closely with the managers and the team to be able to learn the ins and outs of that department. But then there are some advanced level trainings like coaching. How do you coach a different employee? How do you work on problem solving? So there's a ton of different learnings for you to be able to gain. And I do want to call it as well for part-time employment. We do start at $14 per hour. But that would be if you were coming into Wegmans with no work experience. If you do have work experience, we definitely want to hear about it because your increases come based on that. So next I want to introduce you to Ajane. Unlike Edgar, she actually only has been with Wegmans for just about a year and a half. And she is already in that team leader position. Sometimes people think, oh, if I didn't grow up at Wegmans, I'm not going to be able to accelerate as quickly as someone else. That is not the case at all. There's development no matter at what point you want to come into Wegmans. So for her path, she is very passionate about leadership. So right now she's learning about things like conflict resolution, how is her leadership style? So we take her through a program. They have listening sessions where you are able to get critiqued on how good of a listener you are. And those types of trainings and programs help you to become a better leader. So Ajane is really on a path to develop herself and then in turn be able to help to develop others as well. And the last introduction that I want to do is to Chef Yoshi. She has a very special story because she came to Wegmans late in her career, and she is an English as a second language employee with Wegmans, and she is a sous chef. That won't mean a lot to you right now, but when we look at career pathing in just a moment, you will see her growth potential has been huge. So of course, working with food, there's a ton of culinary here at Wegmans. So if you do have a passion for food, again, this might be the right place for you. We'll take you through all of your cooking certifications that you need to learn how to do. We have a great program called Ruby. And if you've watched like Chopped or any of the chef channels, literally in Ruby, we present our employees with a box and then they're told to go create the food. So lots of opportunity, lots of fun in the culinary area. I should have called out as well, the dollar signs on the three paths that look like this. These are the employer investments. So in this bucket one at the top left, at $7,000, that's what we are investing in our employees just to get them onboarded and through that core training. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about the growth potential, specifically looking at the financials. So again, with over 40 departments, there's a lot. We have to have team leaders and department managers, there's customer service and coordinators in all of these different areas. So we talked about that $14 per hour as a starting point, but upon completion of the program, we would really like to see her say yes to the apprentices, come in at either that coordinator or team leader level, depending on your personal growth and like how you've developed throughout the program. So if you came in at that team leader, you could potentially be making between $40,000 and $52,000 per year upon graduation from the program. And then taking that up to department manager, you could potentially make up to $74,000 per year while working at Wegmans. And that would be like a bakery manager. Again, this is an eyesore for you to see on a screen right now, but this just breaks down the different departments and the expectations of each role. So take some time to look for that a little bit later. But we do want to leave you with the culinary path as well. So I mentioned that Chef Yoshi is a sous chef. So right now she's in the middle of the screen at that $52,000 to $74,000 per year. But she's well on her way to becoming a store chef and an executive chef with growth potential up to $126,000 per year. So again, much more than just your average cashier or a stocker. And this slide here just takes you through the different roles as well. So before I close out, I just truly want to thank you all for being here today. Again, super excited to talk to you all. I would also like to share that we didn't talk about specific departments that we're hiring for, for a really good reason. We're going to place you in the department that you're most passionate in. With over 40 departments, there's a ton, so we don't want to just limit you. You tell us what you're interested in, and then we'll be able to go from there. So Aaron, I'll pass it back over to you. Thank you, everyone.
And we thank you. I would like to take this time to thank Wegmans and its staff for making themselves available to meet with us to discuss business operations. We both appreciate and thank you and look forward to working with you. And our last partner is M&T Bank, which is also headquartered in Buffalo, New York. M&T Bank employs over 18,000 employees and operates 780 branches. M&T Bank will be providing positions to the apprentices for both business operations and information technology. M&T's vision is to be the best company an employee has ever worked for and the best bank a customer ever does business with. M&T's charitable foundation supports a diverse range of civic, cultural, health, and human service organizations with financial grants, volunteers, and in-kind services. In 2020, M&T Bank contributed over $34.9 million to more than 2,800 nonprofit organizations across 8 states. So at this time, I would like to turn it over to M&T Bank.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I am also going to share my screen. Perfect. Everybody can see okay? Beautiful. Awesome. So my name is Allison Van Loo. I work at M&T Bank. I've been here about four years or so. I came in with no banking experience, no HR experience, no corporate experience. So you are not alone. Aaron did a great job recapping who we are, but I wanted to highlight very, very quickly some of the things about who we are as a bank. Of course, you know banks for, all of the big competitors. You think of Wall Street. That's not necessarily who we are. We're really focused on being that community-focused institution, focusing more on Main Street than Wall Street. Our services and really center of who we are is really focusing on getting you your first car, your first home, your first loan, paying for school, that kind of stuff. So if you're familiar with, what you see in Wall Street, you're not really going to find us there. We have a presence, but we'd much rather be in the community and focusing on those needs for our neighbors. So M&T right now has a little bit over 17,000 employees, but we did just finish an acquisition. So we bought another bank called People's United Bank in the Northeast. So that spread our footprint from the Mid-Atlantic to the Northeast. And then we have a subsidiary called Wilmington Trust. You wouldn't really work with them much, but they are actually international. So the brand actually goes pretty far. But this is a great time to join the bank because with the People's United acquisition, we're going to be sharing a lot about who we are and providing a lot of resources for you to connect and just really feel a part of the bank. I won't bore you with the specifics about banking, but I do want to share a little bit about what our culture is like. So DE&I is huge for us, and it is shown in multiple ways. You'll hear a little bit about that in a couple minutes, but I want to draw your attention to a couple of the logos in the bottom right screen. These are all of our employee resource groups. These are like corporate clubs, so to speak. So you'll see a lot of them are abbreviated. So AARG is our African American Resource Group. APARG is our Asian Pacific American Resource Group. DAN is our Disability Advocacy Network. So our resource groups are really split into 2, identity-based and then interest-based. So things like STEM, entrepreneurship, Think Green, everybody's welcome to join. We're thinking about those topics. The great part about our employee resource group is that you can join any resource group. You don't necessarily have to identify with that community to participate, but it really allows you to connect culturally with some of those centers of identity, build your network and just really connect that way. The other thing that we offer that is pretty unique is we offer 40 paid hours for volunteering, and that is only Monday through Friday during business hours, which means you can take an entire day off to go volunteer. A lot of our events are through employee resource groups so that they'll host volunteer days, usually focused around the local community. But if you wanted to take a day to, go back to your high school and chat, do some volunteering with students or whatever speaks to you, all you have to do is get managerial approval and you can go get paid to volunteer in the community. So just really shows how dedicated we are to being engaged and supporting not only from a financial side, but also from a volunteer side. I don't want to spend too much time talking about the who's and what's, especially when we have some great guests here. So I'm going to turn it over to my counterpart, Quante Carr, to lead the second half of our session.
That sounds great, Allison. Thank you so much. Hey, everybody. My name is Quante Carr, and I'm a current Management Development Program trainee within the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office and I've been at the bank for 8 months. So now I would turn it over to my counterparts to do their introductions. Neil, you want to kick us off?
Hey everybody, I'm Neil Harper. I started with M&T Bank back in July of last year, so just about 9 months I've been with the bank. I am a part of the Community Branch Management Development Program. So essentially it's a program that's based around the retail bank, and it's designed to position you to be a branch manager at the end of the training. So I hand it off to Armando.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Armando. I joined the bank 3 years ago as an analyst through the Operations Development Program at M&T Bank, and my current department is Treasury Management Services. Thank you. I'll pass it off to Patrick.
I'm Patrick Wells. I joined the bank 3 years ago as an intern in the controller's office, and then I was lucky enough to come back as a full-time employee the next year. And yeah, it's been great. I'm in corporate reporting specifically as a department.
Cool. That sounds good. Thank you all so much. So to kick us off with everything, and we do have a lot of openings within the business operations, and we only had a little bit of time, so we really want to do sort of a game show for you all today, a lightning game show. I'm going to ask a question, and whoever raises their hand the fastest gets to answer that question. These questions are more geared towards M&T and the overall experience here at the bank, and what really represents our culture and what you can expect, especially being an apprentice coming into the bank. So with that, I'll go with my first question. How helpful is it to have young professionals in the department you're working in?
Right here, I'll raise my M&T flag.
All right.
Thanks so much. I think it's extremely important and very valuable. As I mentioned, I joined the bank 3 years ago, and one of my first tasks was to sit with each and every employee on my team and essentially see how I can make our work more efficient. My manager trusted me enough to do this. And within my first 2 weeks on the job, I was actually able to take a report that we ran from 30 minutes to under 2 seconds by building a macro in Excel. Now, this skill I did not have coming into M&T Bank. I actually learned this by collaborating with individuals within M&T Bank. But my boss essentially did trust me, and she did give me the platform to sit with each person, see how I can make the work more efficient. And that essentially saved us about 120 hours a year by building this macro. So I welcome young professionals all the time, and I say we are more than happy to have fresh, new talent with that diverse perspective.
Yeah, I like that point a lot. And as an apprentice, you really get that same support. You come in, straight into high school and to the corporate environment, you really have a lot of people that are here to support you. They're really looking out for you. And like Armando said, that trust aspect, when I first came to the bank as well, they put me on a lot of big projects, and the big projects were, they were really trustworthy. So it's super important to really get into senior leadership and really get that exposure just coming into the bank. That's something that you all would definitely expect, and something that's super cool to look forward to. My next question, what are some of the research that helped you to adjust to M&T? Neil?
Oh my gosh, there's so many things that helped me, get comfortable here. We kind of just talked about exposure, and especially when you're in one of our development programs, you get that exposure. You get exposure to executives, you exposure. I've had the chance to meet, our CEO Renee Jones. I've met our president Rich Gold. You've got your HR partners that are regularly working with you, your regional managers. The development programs have program administrators, and they do regular touch bases with you to make sure that you're comfortable, that you're progressing well, that you've got the tools that you need to be successful. So that was a huge part for me, as well as the cohort group that you're in. The group spans across the entire footprint of M&T Bank. So I'm able to network and meet with peers, in Pennsylvania, in Delaware, in Maryland, all over our footprint. So that's been a huge help, because you just feel like, you've got that support system. Another big piece for me is, the fact that, we're open to meeting people where they're at. So similar to Allison, I also had no banking experience when I came in. So, between the extensive trainings that we have, and, people being understanding and knowing, okay, this is where you want your career to go, let's get you lined up, let's get you the tools to get there. So all of those things have really helped me to be comfortable and, get acclimated and continue to grow here. So I can't say enough about it.
That sounds good, Neil. That's some really great points that you had. Kind of want to go back to your point too of, the network. As soon as you join M&T as an apprentice, you immediately have that network already. To have that network, you have many different executives that you can talk to and sort of get your name out there and get yourself on these great projects that are really affecting the bank. You also have access to the ERGs, whatever ERG that you want to be a part of, you're able to do that and really push your network even further with that. And everything within M&T is an investment in your future. The trainings, the people that you meet, the stuff that you're working on, it's all to make you a better person at the end of the day. So there's definitely something that you can expect too while being an apprentice. My last question, how are you able to be your authentic self at the bank?
Forgot my flag at the office, so I'll just use the emoji, but yeah, I can answer this one. I've worked at a bunch of other places before I started working at M&T, and a lot of places don't allow you to freely think or be yourself when you're working on the job. Whether I was an intern, when I was an intern, or now, M&T does a great job at allowing you to be yourself, whether that's I don't know, your personality. You can be however you want, be your true self, but mostly free thinking. And it's very refreshing to know you can come into a job and everybody comes from all different places, so they can all provide different thought process, different solutions to different problems. And it's refreshing to have a manager or a coworker, welcome your ideas and welcome your problem solving skills. So whether it's my department or Quante's department, I feel like everyone welcomes free thinking and just you being yourself, which I enjoy.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Patrick. And when you do come here, everybody's treated equally and you're actually treated like a real employee. Even though you are somebody that's still in high school, you still have that advantage of being somebody who's a part of M&T. You're treated just like a real employee. You're able to make many friends and a lot of great coworkers, and you're able to be that person that can really excel within the company. So that sums up all the questions for today. So we really want to thank you all for participating tonight. And students, if you have any questions about the culture at M&T, feel free to drop them in the chat. And we'll make sure to follow up with Stephanie about that and share those answers. And if you have any questions about the openings or anything like that, make sure that you look at the job booklet and really speak with your career counselor at Say Yes to really figure out what jobs fit you best. Yeah, that's it from us, from M&T. So thank you all so much, and I'll pass it over to Aaron.
I would like to take this time to thank M&T Bank and its staff for making themselves available to meet with us to discuss business operations. We both appreciate and thank you and look forward to working with you. At this time, I would like to open the floor to questions. Students, you can unmute to ask your question or you can type it in chat. Thank you.
It looks like there's one question in the chat of when can we start? Do you want us all to take that question, Hala?
I feel like you guys all have different start dates. So if you guys all want to go over how the apprentices will be started, that'll probably be a good idea.
Sure, I could start since I'm unmuted. So yes, we are going to do the interview process first. So I know that Stephanie is looking into some community days for us, like on a Saturday that we can do. So there's more information to come. However, the portal is open. So if you want to go ahead and submit your application there, you are more than welcome to do so. So I'll kick it over to the next company.
I can jump in for Rich Products. I think we're targeting the end of August is our goal. Similar interviewing, and then hopefully have some offers out before you go into the boot camp, and then have that ready to go for the end of August, maybe even early September.
Hi, everybody. So our portal is open. We all have the same start date. I believe it is starting this summer. Michelle Marie, you correct me if I am wrong. But really going through the process and chatting with the recruiter, you'll get the best experience and know exactly not only what you're walking into, but what you can expect from start date, work environment, all of that kind of stuff. So really leaning into your career counselors and the job descriptions and making sure you're applying to the portal, because the sooner you apply, the sooner you can know, right? So make sure that you're paying attention to all of that wonderful information that's provided. I intentionally went last, so sorry, Amanda, for the pause, because I did see a question come in from Jamar about what are some things that you can expect while working at M&T. We have a ton of different openings. We have an IT track, we've got financial crimes, there's treasury, there's banking services. So I can't give you exactly what you can expect in terms of your day-to-day. Again, but job descriptions are the best resource for you to really get a sense of that. We did work, however, intentionally with business lines that are used to supporting early career professionals. So you got to hear from several of them, and they all came in through different programs. So you will have hands-on support from your manager. You'll have a cohort experience. You'll be able to be walked through exact expectations. We know you've never done this before. We don't expect you to know all the answers, and I'm sure Wegmans and Riches are the same. We really want to make sure that you feel comfortable working here, and you'll have that support to get you answers to questions that you have. And so you'll really feel comfortable executing your duties and making sure that you have that support. And then, of course, a network of other individuals. We've never had apprentices before, so you'll be the first, but we've definitely had people that have come in through various different avenues that are young professionals that you can connect with as well.
Okay, we have one question from Johanna. To other employers, what kind of traits and qualities do you look for in an apprentice?
Maybe we should go on our same.
That's perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, so for Wegmans specifically, we really are looking for those 5 who we are values. So caring, making a difference, respect, empowerment, and high standards. So if you hold those 5 values, really there is a place for you here at Wegmans. And again, just to call out the 2 really important things. So working with others, because we are very people facing. It's always busy at Wegmans. So definitely have to be willing to work with customers and your coworkers. So working with the team. And then additionally, just that fast paced environment. Those are the 2 things that I could say stand out the most. So I'll pass it to you, Amanda. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think those are really great qualities. And I'd say very similar to what Riches would be looking for. Collaborative is a big thing. We also, when we have meetings, if they're virtual, we do like to turn our camera on to have that interaction. There is some ability to go into the office. We hope there's going to be more of that come summertime. Collaborative, willing to kind of go that extra mile. Detail oriented. I think those are some of the key things. I'll send it over to M&T.
Thank you so much. It was funny when we were prepping for this, we were talking about like, what would each individual department be looking for? So, Quante, I was like, D&I is probably looking for empathetic people. I know talent acquisition, you have to be good with people. So each department definitely has like little things. If you're working in accounting, you probably should be comfortable with numbers. I know enough to know that I am not comfortable with numbers. That's why I work in HR. So having some of that self-awareness about what is the kind of work you like to do can make it really easy for you to start to identify, even if you've never heard of a department before. If you like investigations, we have financial crimes, right? If you're really good at operational things and doing a very similar routine, I know that's my husband, he works in operations. I could never do it, right? That's why I work in a more creative space. So thinking about what you like to do first is the very first thing that we want to see in you, that you know what you're getting into, right? And sort of what you're applying for. Generally speaking, for students, whether they be campus hires, high school students, interns, we want to see somebody that's curious. Are you interested in learning? Are you interested in receiving feedback? Can you take that feedback and implement it quickly, right? You can show that through perhaps projects when you're interviewing and talking about when you had feedback from a teacher, how did you improve upon that? If you have a second job or another job outside of high school, if you do volunteering, if you do babysitting, if you work anywhere, that's really helpful to talk about and put on your resume, because it shows that you're good at balancing your time. You can keep obligations. So a lot of those things that you can show just in your everyday life that some students don't think is relevant is so super relevant. So make sure you're connecting with your career counselors to help prepare your applications, feel comfortable, but you probably have all the assets that you already need to be successful. Just be clear and ask those questions when you're going to apply so that you know you're getting into something that you, number one, think is interesting. That's most important. I do see another question in here. What does the pay increase look like? The application only mentions that there's chance for the pay to increase upon completion. So very great and complicated question. And the answer is it depends, right? So it is a 3-year process. We have some departments that are trying this out for the first time. We have some departments that are like, yep, we're used to 3 tiers, so no problem. This is something that we are going to be very upfront with you during the interview. Your recruiter will be able to tell you what to expect. We want to be transparent. We don't have all the information right now. So it really depends on what you're applying to, what division you get into. Maybe you have previous experience in accounting. So all of that information will come in the interview and later on, but it will be within range expected for the apprenticeship. I have a question for Amanda. How do you not eat all of the rich products?
So it's not like it's just a buffet constantly,
That's
but
exactly what I imagined.
Yeah, it's more of like a smell because our R&D actually is in Buffalo. So they're up there like baking bread or making cookies or experimenting on a regular basis. So it's more that the sense that will get you.
That's so funny. I don't know which is worse, smelling something you can't have or having that buffet. That's
Exactly.
So funny.
Just a supplemental question off the question I asked originally. So the pay will not increase while like year 2, year 3, or that's just depending on the position and how they're doing in the role?
It really varies. I'm not comfortable now to share in exact data. You can expect an X amount of increase. It is something that we are working with compensation and our different departments to make sure that we have a structure in place. We want to make sure that the first year is gone without a hitch, that we have that sort of seamless integration into the department and make sure that everything's there first. But it really varies based on quite a number of factors, but it is something that we're constantly building through on our side.
Okay.
So don't think that, you only get one and that's it. We want to try and be transparent. When we have that information, we'll share with all of the apprentices that are in the bank.
Okay, we have another question. When graduating, can you guys ensure I can be full-time / part-time employee? So I guess we can go back around, or maybe Johanna wants to take that one.
I think going around would be good.
All right, perfect. So for Wegmans, we are hiring for part-time and full-time right out the gate. So we're looking to hire 20 part-time employees and 10 full-time employees. So really it is based on your personal preference. If you feel that your course load is manageable enough for you to be able to handle full-time, we can hire you full-time immediately. But yes, upon completion of the 3-year apprenticeship program, we would like to see you in a full-time, either a coordinator level or a team leader level position. So yes, that's guaranteed. And again, depending on your passion and willingness, just again, to be fully transparent, if there's an employee who, did not do great throughout the 3 years, then that opportunity might not be there. But again, we would be having those conversations along the way, so there would be no surprises. But yes, we can guarantee the full time.
And I'd like to echo a lot of what she just said. It is going to really be up to you to do well in this program and strive to meet all the goals and objectives set ahead of you. There might be this opportunity, or there could be an array of other opportunities that are going to open up. I think the important thing is getting your foot in the door. You're going to network, you're going to meet with a lot of people, have the opportunity to really explore where you may want to go, because it may not be the position that you're in for the apprenticeship. It could be somewhere else. So can we guarantee that? I think that's a little bit unknown, because it's going to depend a lot on your end, and then also on our end having that position for you. But I think the ultimate goal is to have everyone join our organization.
Same thing here. It's a job, so it goes both ways, right? You have to be interested and meet objectives set, but we also have to be the institution for you. And if it's not working out for you, we hope that you make the decision that's right for you. But I think that's something that will emerge. And as Freeland said earlier, it won't be a surprise to you at the end of the year, kind of where you stand. We'll have coaching conversations. Again, that's why we're interested in somebody who's receptive to feedback. We want to let you know when we notice opportunities, and we want to help you be successful, but it's really up to you to take the most of this opportunity. Update to previous questions. We pulled from the hub what the job descriptions say, and for biz opportunities, it says you can anticipate earning $16 to $22 per hour at the completion of the program. So there is a little bit of information there. What it is for each specific department will vary. So definitely ask your recruiter for those specific questions.
Any further questions? Please list them in the chat. So I assume there's no further questions. Okay. We would like to take this time to thank you all for attending our Youth Apprenticeship Virtual Employer Tour featuring Rich Products, Wegmans, and M&T Bank. Our Advanced Manufacturing virtual event will occur on March 30th from 4:30 to 5:30, and it will feature Moog, Tesla, and Harmac Medical Products. If you are interested in advanced manufacturing, please make sure to enroll. Please don't hesitate to contact the career coach at your school should you have any questions or concerns. We are excited about these opportunities, and you should be too. If you would like to enroll in this Youth Apprenticeship Say Yes initiative, please go to www.careerwisegreaterbuffalo.org. If you look over in the chat, you will see the career coach contact information, website, and the registration link. At this time, I would like to turn it over to career coach Jennifer Ray for our raffle.
All right, so this will be fun because I only see two students on the call that has lasted this whole time. So I'm really interested to see how this is gonna work out. Okay, so you guys are in the running. Okay, if I am missing a student, please let me know, but I am aware that I think it's only 2. Please let me know. All right, going once, twice. I think I'm right, so I'm gonna spin it. let's see. I want my South Parker to win, of course, so. And he did, so yay. I think Johanna's gonna handle it. I promise you, I did not fix this, okay, so. I see Aaron looking at me.
You are all good. Maurice will get you that gift card within a week or two, okay? Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Maurice. You've won $50. I would like to thank you all for joining us today for this virtual event. We do appreciate you and we thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. This was great.
Thanks so much, everyone.
I did a great job.